You know, that song is growing on me every week.
Every week.
I kind of dig it. What's up, Big Rapids? I'm your host, Chris Jane.
And I'm Pat Brooks.
And before we even get started, we just want to say that no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you look like or what you've done, you are a loved and valuable member of this community, and we're so glad to have even a moment of your time. We will try not to waste it. How are you today, Pat?
I'm good. Real quick, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, like, comments, all those things. Share, be a friend, tell a friend.
Be a friend, tell a friend.
I'm
we
good.
thought it was spring.
Yeah.
Then we got winter again.
Yeah. You get to escape, at least, unlike some people.
Hopefully all of you guys are, like us, just sort of riding it out this week until you can escape to warmer climes. We're taking our first vacation in a while. We're going to see my brother. We're going to see my sister. Right? We're going to see
the sun.
My other brother. We're going to see the sun. We're
Pool,
going to get in
water.
a pool. We're going to sit on a beach.
Man and cheese, right?
Yeah, hopefully this time next week, or maybe even while you're listening to this, maybe I will be kayaking or swimming with manatees. How cool would that be?
Yeah, way cooler than what I'm doing.
That's always been a dream.
Nothing.
Yeah, well, not nothing. You got
working.
You got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I got a lot going on. So
besides, you guys you've gotten to take a lot of cool trips.
I have.
Just in New Orleans, all that.
Yeah.
Good, all good. You gotta, like we were talking about. You gotta kind of get it done while
you can
while it's good. Yeah.
Yep.
While the getting's good. Hey, I remember we couldn't settle on the right phrase for that. But
what's the kids don't like? Your parents don't like that, but your kids will like that, right? That's like the Marty McFly reference for the future.
Yeah, exactly. All of our references are like very old and or they're farm related.
Farm. All right.
We'll try to modernize it up a little bit.
Yeah,
for,
I know.
For the kids,
I was disappointed to see snow Sunday. I thought we were past that point.
I was a touch disappointed to see it Sunday night because I went Sunday afternoon for my last trip to Caberfae for the year.
Yep.
It's a little bit sad. This was a good year for it, much better than last year anyway.
Good year for snow.
Much better snow. And they really, it's always just a little bit colder up there, just geographically or whatever. They must just sit in a spot where it's, they just tend to be able to hold on to their snow a little bit better. And then the mountain invested in all new snowmakers this last summer. So we always pretty much had good snow. Now,
how many times did you get up there?
I got up there a bunch of times, man. Yeah, I got
the season pass.
I get the season pass, and I try to get make sure I get my money's worth out of it, and I always have. But honestly, I go up there half as much just for the burger and fries at.
You keep saying this
legendary. There's this little pub, Arlo's Pub, on the side of the mountain. You can kind of ski up to it, snowboard up to it, and that's where they'll have like a band playing on the deck and people just hanging out. A lot of fireplaces and stuff. Yeah, it's cool spot. So sometimes I'll go half as much just to get up there for lunch or something, ride a little bit, and then come back, get to work.
It's a good, nice little, like, instead of going to the gym, you go hit the slopes for an hour and a half.
Well, then what happened is, so I get back, it's like that Sunday, I mixed the live stream at church. So I was with you in the morning mixing. Then I went straight from there to Caberfae, rode as much as I could, and had to be back for like a 3:30 for rehearsal for Night of Worship.
Yep.
When I stepped out from there, that's when all of a sudden, it's like I stepped out of the church and it was winter again.
It was. I went in and it was definitely spring.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't even have my coat on. I came out, it was winter, full blown, like to where I'm doing this.
Yeah,
like
it's blowing sideways. The wife didn't want to drive home.
Needed goggles.
It was instantly like, what happened?
Yeah, and the roads got slick pretty fast.
It was a punch in the beanbag to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought we talked to you about class in this, show up a little bit. If you're gonna weigh in with a weird saying, make it clean. Keep it above the belt. Keep it above the belt.
Oh no, that's
We'll cut that out. Don't worry,
yeah,
kids.
Don't PG or G or whatever.
That's why we don't show him on camera, folks. Because if you had to see the maniacal grin that was on his face when he's talking about beanbags, you know.
Oh,
That's why we keep him behind the glass.
Anywho, no. Did you? Weren't you said you were gonna get back up there because of the snow? Right? Did you get it back up there?
No, because unfortunately they're closed all week.
Oh, even though it did snow,
Right.
yeah,
It's just
they
that
were
time of the
just-
year where they
Gotcha.
they don't have the staff, so I think they're going to be open this weekend. If you're around this weekend, get up there.
Yeah. Spring break, I'm sure it'll be. I mean, either dead or completely
Yeah,
back.
who
It's
knows?
one of those two things.
Who knows?
But
I won't
your
know.
snowboard is put up for the
I'm
season.
going to be trying to surf instead of snowboard.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Actually, if we could kayak with some manatee, here are the things I'd like to do on this trip because we're taking a kid with us who's never gotten to like our kids, like Noble, he's probably sick of all of our favorite spots. You know what I mean? Like,
The same thing over and over.
yeah, he kind of knows the stuff we like to do.
Right.
He's cool. He always he doesn't really care what we do. But because we have a kid living with us who has not really been to anything, been anywhere, it's kind of cool to see everything kind of fresh through their eyes.
That is cool.
You know what I
Very
mean?
cool.
Almost every year we have some other kid with us, for spring break, it seems like. So we get to reintroduce our favorite Florida
like,
spots.
Be as excited as I was the very first time.
And it's cool because they usually are.
Yeah.
Our favorite restaurants hold up year after year. A lot of the staff still work
it seems like
there.
every time we go to New Orleans, and like Russ tries to teach it as the first time we've been there, if somebody new is with us, because there's some really fascinating things that can I remember how I felt when I first had a beignet. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so you want to
absolutely.
take those people
I would
to those
imagine
moments.
that a lot of the residents of a city that old feel a responsibility to educate the
because there's
tourists.
so much education there. But the same thing when you're on spring break and on vacation. If you've been to a place and you love it, you keep going back to it. And then when you bring new people, here's all my favorite things about it. So that's exciting for her.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So here's the things I'm hoping to get to do while we're down there. One is checking out the manatees at Crystal River.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my sister lives close by, and she said that the park has flooded in a storm here recently.
Oh, okay. How they meant people, but
No.
rather water. Actually,
Flooded with
flooding.
water, so you can't really get in there to the spots that you normally can. But she thinks we might be able to do some kayaking with the manatees. But if that fails, either way, we're going to go to Tarpon Springs. Have you ever been to the Tarpon Springs sponge docks?
I've only been to what is it, Springs, Ginny Springs, which is just north of Tampa and stuff.
Well, the sponge docks is like it's this incredible place. They've really built it up. Dom, have you been?
No, I haven't.
Sponge docks. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. I was a full-grown adult before I knew that the sponges that you see in a bathtub come out of the ocean.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
This is them, huh?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And I'm sure a lot of you who are listening to this are laughing at me because you knew this forever. But I was a Midwestern kid. I even went to Florida a few times as a kid. I had no idea that bath sponges are pulled right out of the ocean, that they are living creatures. And but now I've watched a man dive for them, bring them up. It's fun. And but besides so
they're free and they sell them for
they're
$3 at the store.
Yeah, probably. This was quite an operation. This a lot of people got very wealthy off of the sponge trade over the decades.
I was gonna say it's definitely
But
an
this
old
area
town.
is still raking it in. There is because they still have like the fresh fish, like a fresh fish market, and they have
Right there on the
fishermen
wall.
bringing
100%,
in their catch, and the whole strip is just lined with touristy things, shops, and trinkets and food and
arcades.
It's a heavily Greek area because of the sponge.
The Sponges Creek.
No, I can't remember what the connection was, but the people who knew how to
Get the sponge.
fish, harvest the sponges were Greek divers, and so they came over to make their fortunes, and they did.
That is
they brought their
interesting.
families, they brought their culture.
They found it in the water one time, and they're like, let's set up shop. This is where we get them.
The breakfast along there is incredible. The pastries and everything are incredible. It's all
Old Town.
It's all like fresh Greek, kind of Greek influenced stuff.
Love that.
But anyway, so we're going to take the kid there and maybe go on that tour because it's been a while.
Fun.
And
Fun.
be fun to just do something different.
Yeah.
I'd love to take her to John's Pass, which is like this other sort of touristy area.
I feel like I've been there before.
Yeah, it's like
That sounds familiar.
It's like this. They got all sorts of stuff to do there, so the kids are never bored. There's like an arcade and an aquarium, and but all like
Go-karts
small.
and all the
Well,
shopping,
no, it's not quite
little
big
shop-
enough for that.
Okay.
I don't think go-karts, but those shops you like that'll have like T-shirts with sort of borderline inappropriate jokes on them.
Of almost
I
all
think
of them.
they got that type of
probably
shop
100 of
there. Yeah, they got all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and so it's just sort of a decent place to go hang out for a couple hours, get dinner.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always live music.
Yeah, we tend to try to hit those at least one day out of
Yeah,
three. It's, it's like part of the
I
vacation.
feel like
as long as they know.
she'll like that.
Yeah.
Kids like that kind of stuff. And,
like a boardwalk.
Love to make the drum circle at
on the beaches.
on St. Pete Beach or on Siesta Key. Those are monster ones. But
Siesta Key, that's a beautiful beach, man. Crystal clear white sand.
but you know what? Even if I
Anyways.
don't get to, when I come back, I want to say it's on April 11th. I got invited to do a drum circle for the Girl Scouts, for the Big Rapids Girl Scouts. How cool is that?
That is way cool.
Remember my story about my early memory of my mom hosting a Cub Scout or Boy Scout event at my house?
I do, yeah.
And remember
Yeah.
they were making
Drums.
drums.
That's right. We talked about it on the show.
That's right. So I
Yes.
wonder if these girls have made drums yet. If maybe they're, if I'm going to show up and they're going to have drums too.
Or maybe you prepare 'em
maybe
to
this is
have
the
some
start.
drums.
Maybe I teach them, a little bit about drumming, and then we go out and make some drums.
That'd be
'Cause
really
I
cool.
would love to do that. I have helped kids make, percussion instruments before. I've made a lot of shakers and things with kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's sort of easy. You can do it quickly. But making a drum would be cool.
That'd be really cool. That'd be
Really cool.
That's really cool. But
Might be a lot of work. Might need some help, but
yeah, hopefully when
that'd
you
be
come
cool.
back, you're in line to watch Michigan State. One of them.
That's true.
I mean,
You know
kinda
what?
in a run.
I don't know at what point in time you're hearing this or seeing this, but hopefully at least one Michigan team is still in this
Yes,
thing. And I
yes.
don't care at all.
Right.
You know that I don't care, but I care about our pride, right? I care about our spirits. And I know that
Yes.
when one of our local teams
1,000,000%,
succeeds,
yeah.
we all feel better, right?
Yes.
We're all lifted.
Yes.
The Lions lifted us all
100%,
all
brought us
season.
together.
Yeah, brought everybody together. Everybody
And
was
during election season,
That's right. It was
the
something-
Lions kept us
something
Michiganders
arbitrary.
together.
You're so right, man. I know that I sort of scoff at sports oftentimes as being like just a gigantic waste of time. And, no, I'm just teasing, but just something that so many of my friends are just like so invested in with no return or no, there's just nothing.
Especially a Lions fan.
Yeah, there's just never. I mean, I've been a Michigan fan my whole life. There's never been much for us.
Yeah, right,
you know what I mean? There's a lot of lean years, and there's a lot of things to be into in this world.
Right.
You can look over there, or you can look over there.
There's
There's
a
something
lot
else
to
you could
do.
do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
we've been watching basketball though for the last couple.
well,
last
let me
week
put a
at
bow
least.
on that so that I don't
All right.
seem like a complete jerk. But what I was going to say is the magic that it has to bring a community together, whether it is a school community, when like a little scrappy high school team starts winning and everybody gets fired up,
100%.
or even like your kid's first little soccer team
Yeah.
or something, and they go
they
on
finally
a run.
figure out how to
They
pass
figure it
and
out.
score.
Yeah, it's magic the way sports can, and I find myself screaming, cheering,
Doesn't care, but he's
shouting,
screaming, slapping, banging the table.
I don't care, but I
Yes.
care passionately
Yes.
while I'm watching.
Engaged,
I'll
yes.
yell at the refs. I'll do,
Yeah, you don't even know the rules, and
I
you're
don't
just
even
like,
know the
what
kids.
do you guys?
And anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is a magical thing. It's like music in that way. It's hard to put your finger on what it is, but there is a magic and a power to it.
1,000,000%. Yeah. No,
So not just slagging it off.
No,
all right.
We actually watched some games together during March Madness.
Yeah,
you and I, and
all good. And I knew nothing about who the teams were. I didn't know who the
you had
athletes
a lot of questions.
were. These guys seem to know all these these young men. I mean, suspiciously, they knew like way too much about all these young dudes. It was impressive actually. Not just you, the kids, the teenagers know a lot about this stuff.
Yeah, when you're in it, you're in it. You know,
Totally.
I think that's like with music and literally anything, out there, like you've mentioned. It's easy to know what's happening in Bridgerton if you live and breathe Bridgerton.
Totally right. I can name all sorts of
character
obscure instruments,
right,
that other people don't care about.
But we do have our bracket challenge, and I figured we should probably give some kind of update for our followers.
Oh, we're going to update. First off, hopefully, and if you want to any feedback. Always, you can hit us up at whatsupbigrapids@gmail.com if you want to let us know about anything that's going on. You want to give us feedback on the dumb stuff that we spout off about on the show. You want to give us some topics to talk about.
Yep.
Anything like that, all good. I was coming in here. I was going to put on "We Are the Champions." And really put on a bit of a show about being so far ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Because if you have been watching...
I remember the text on Saturday.
If you've been watching our bracket, I was way ahead. If you guys remember, I'm the guy who was just going to pick by gut feel, no research. I resisted the urge to ask AI what my bracket should look like. You know what I mean? I just went purely by gut. And meanwhile, these two guys... know a fair amount. These are guys who play fantasy sports. They're into this stuff. They pick brackets a lot. And I started out with a big lead. After that first round or two, I was in a commanding lead. But now I can't really like do any sort of like touchdown dance or anything because, well, you both caught up quite a bit. And now Pat and I are actually tied.
Yeah.
We're not doing well.
We're not.
We're in
not
the middle
doing
of the pack.
Yes.
But we are on the first page. Dom even made it back up to the first page.
But
who are we getting whooped by?
Well, first of all, let's Duke could lose because looking at this section right here, Duke
they all seem to know something we don't know. Look at everybody in the top 10. Almost everybody in the top 10 did not pick MSU. For those of you who are listening and not watching, Pat and I picked Michigan State University, the Spartans, to win the whole thing.
There's a bunch of Dukes down here, too.
I picked Gonzaga.
That's why Dom's at the bottom.
Oh, got ya. Are they out
with
already?
The X next to their logo.
Oh, bummer.
They lost the round one.
I will have fun watching.
So Gonzaga's out already. So
now, there is a Brooks in the top 5. Number 4, there's a Brooks.
2.
Pat, is that you, Pat?
No, that would in fact be my sister-in-law.
Oh, your sister-in-law.
Brother's wife.
And actually, my
She's
wife,
crushing it.
top 10 as well.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Both of the Brooks ladies are way ahead of us.
And thank you to all 33 people that joined this. We knew it was a late notice and stuff, but...
Yeah, we only gave you 1 day's notice. I'm actually pretty happy with that.
Yeah, so
I am not happy.
I'm
not happy with the fact that we don't even have a shot at winning, but I am pretty
Michigan
excited
State
for
wins.
0 dunks given. Big Sherm, Jiggy Whittet. Get it right, get it tight.
Don't forget ESPN 79559.
Well, see, that's what mine was named at first. It took me a minute.
You got to go in there and change that, folks. So we know who you are. I know who most of these people are.
If you guys don't know, Pat's is a Murph Counterfeit.
Yeah, that's me right here.
Yeah. Josh Piles and I've been hanging right together this whole thing. We must have a very similar bracket.
Yeah. But
even though he has picked a different team to win, we must have had similar picks out of the gate.
All these teams that I'm seeing that aren't green and white with this little symbol, they can go. They can lose. I don't care. And that will help our chances greatly.
Who does State play next and when?
They play Ole Miss on Friday night.
I hope to watch it in a sandy beach. I won't though. I think I'll be visiting with my brother Rob right about then.
Yeah, that's Friday night, and then.
But he also roots for Spartans.
Plays Thursday. Dom, you have to check the time on that one, but Michigan plays Thursday and State plays Friday, if I remember right.
All right. That's enough
anyways.
about sports, but we'll check in next week. We'll see how we're doing. Of course, we're going to be on spring break this next week, so through the magic of television, I'm going to be joining you guys virtually from the future or from the past, depending on your conception of your perception of time. And yeah, that's a good effect, man. We might be able to use that sometime. I'm sure I have like a little sound effect for that.
Funny.
Hey, so I goofed up the other day. I saw a post about Angels of Action and Jersey Mike's.
Oh yeah,
they're doing a day of giving.
Yeah, old Jersey Mike's Day of Giving.
And we got so excited. Siobhan and I we texted. And we're like, oh, we got to do Jersey Mike's tonight. The proceeds go to Angels of Action.
What day was this? Was it today?
It wasn't today.
All right.
Turns out the day we went, it wasn't giving day, or what? It wasn't the right day. That day is today. If you're hearing this, it might already have been passed, but Wednesday night, Wednesday all day actually.
We actually because we wanted to support Angels, we did a to-go order for lunch today in the office. We got, all the bosses in town and talking, and so we went and got Jersey Mike's to go, and it was chaos there at lunchtime. So
I bet.
But next year.
How was it?
Jersey Mike?
Yeah.
It's
I've only this was only the second time I'd ever gotten it.
I don't know. I love it.
I thought it was really good. I think both times I've gotten like some sort of a bacon chicken ranch type of a deal.
Oh yeah, the hot one. Yeah,
a hot one.
That's one of my favorites.
Well, this time it came as a wrap instead of a sub.
Oh, okay.
And I think
wrap?
we ended up buying an extra sub for no reason by accident. So Jeremiah ate that the next day.
Okay.
Whatever. We thought, hey, it's for a good cause. Who cares? We're not gonna, you know what I mean? And now this morning I saw.
You have to circle back around and go.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I gotta go again because today is the day.
A cold sub, and I get it the Mike's way with the oil and stuff. I never used to do that with my subs until I had Jersey Mike's one time, and I'm like,
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, they put the oil and vinegar and spices all on top of it.
And that's called Mike's Way.
Mike's
huh?
Way, yeah.
I don't know, you just about made my mouth water.
And they have one of the greatest celebrity sponsors
100%.
ever.
Yes,
Danny DeVito does all their commercials.
Consistent. Yes,
absolutely. An American gem.
But yes, shout out Angels of Action and what Jersey Mike's does
sort of
for
been
him.
like a Subway guy, and even that, or Mancino's actually. If I'm gonna get if I'm in the mood for like some sort of a warm sub, I'm going Mancino's Grinder.
Yeah.
But not to slag off the Jersey Mike's
it's
folks.
Cool. It's a new thing. Jersey Mike's has only been here a couple years.
Very cool for a chain to partner with a local charity.
100%.
Anytime, right?
100% of sales is it's crazy.
Is that what they're saying?
And there was
I didn't hear that.
12 to 15 employees there working. I mean, they're taking a bite today, and 100% of sales. It's a pretty
kudos
good deal,
to Jersey Mike's. That's really nice.
It goes to a good.
That's
people,
cool.
so.
I actually did not get to eat. I had like no time. I had to get the car service this morning, race back up here for this, and I think I'm gonna have to go over to Jersey Mike's after this.
There you go.
All right, what's going on around the
in terms of
community?
We're always last minute, but tomorrow, Thursday, we do got a couple things planned. We mentioned them a little bit last week. But we do have that chamber business after hours at Gilbert's Carpet Plus color tile there tomorrow at 5 or Thursday at 5. And that's right there at Gilbert's Carpet, 5 to 7. And good networking event. They'll probably have some refreshments. I believe they're gonna introduce their contest. The event is out on Facebook, so you can go
and you told us a little bit about the contest last week, but. Remind us, this is something they do every year.
They normally do some kind of giveaway
like
event, some kind of give back, and they try to partner with other businesses and things like that. And I'll know more because I'm going to go tomorrow.
Okay.
But basically, it's some kind of contest where you can nominate your mom or grandma and win some window coverings.
Oh, that's awesome! Or like a new
for Mother's Day
type
thing. Yeah, some type of giveaway.
Some sort of a home remodeling sort of a thing.
Nothing like I know in the past they've given away like whole rooms of flooring and stuff like that. I don't think this is that.
Okay.
grand, but yeah, no,
Well,
definitely a
hey,
little give
that's
back.
awesome.
And the people Gilberts are always trying to give back.
Now, that probably means Mother's Day is coming up.
It does. That's exactly what that means.
I'm not sure when that is, but maybe Dom will tell us later.
Yeah, May probably at some point.
It feels like it's in May, yeah.
But
honestly,
then
that'll be on
after
top of
that,
us.
we're gonna try and sneak to that comedy event.
Are you?
Yeah,
Good.
just try and get into one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a crazy week. Like I said, all the bosses are in town, and we're just.
If you're looking for
busy.
something to do this Thursday night, it's the last chance for this season to get out to the Peaks for one of their comedy shows. We've heard nothing but good things about these comedy nights out there. The Peaks does a nice job of hosting people. If you don't know what the Peaks is, it used to be called CK's Place
South Side,
on the south side.
Rogers Heights.
Yeah, it's
often
sort of,
referred to.
yep. As you're heading that way out of Big Rapids, it is on the right-hand side. It is a great place to host any sort of small, mid, large size gathering,
Yep.
a wedding,
Weddings,
reception, wedding, anything like that. We've thrown parties out there.
Birthday parties.
But they've been bringing up comics, comedians from different areas to throw these comedy nights. And tomorrow night's the last chance to go check that out. I'm going to hopefully be on the road by then, but check it out and report back.
Yeah, I will. I feel like I got to get to one of them.
Yeah,
and
man, I love a
as long
comedy
as
show.
as long as the schedule works out, we definitely want to swing through. So
Yeah, absolutely.
also, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a new business in town.
Yeah.
It's right there in that in the plaza of the Ollie's Tractor Supply and
Oh, yeah, Treetops.
Treetops Tattoo. Yeah, they did a soft opening, I heard. And then they also announced their grand opening soon. So
Yeah, a couple weeks. He sent me a message saying that they're going to do a grand opening on April 11th with a flash sale, which is usually, small kind of pre-drawn tattoos that you can get quickly, and they'll probably have those for cheap. And then the first handful of folks that come through are getting some swag bags.
Yeah.
So
there we go. No, that's exciting.
I haven't peeked in there yet, but the graphics on the window are awesome.
Yeah.
The graphics look like you're staring into a forest.
I'd like to get more on the news on how many, because I know Sean Flagg is the owner, and he's coming from Light Touch. Did he bring any other artists with him? Is it just him?
I heard that there was at least one other person who came over, but I'm not sure.
Good. Piercings, or is it just tattoos? Do we know?
You know what? I looked on their Facebook page. It did look, I mean, at least there was a lot of photos of piercings, so I'm guessing they're going to do them. But you know what?
Yeah.
That changes from shop to shop. Sometimes they get fed up with it, or they have the person who does the piercings leaves, and you know what I mean?
You've seen that multiple times.
I'm not vouching for that one way or the other.
Yeah. No, but that's exciting. I seen that, so I figured we should probably
Another new business. Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, I know. For us people that are sticking around, I also seen that the roller rink is extending their hours for next week.
Yeah, if you're sticking around town and your kids need something to do, you want to get them out of the house, the roller rink is opening up a few hours earlier. They're opening up 1 to 4 every day next week, I believe.
Yep.
So
The times are additional to their normal skating hours that would be listed on their Facebook and Google.
and looks like if it's $4 to get in, it's only a couple of bucks to rent skates if you need them.
Yeah, if those kids are, it's post lunch and they're driving you crazy, let's get them out of the house.
Go wear
them out a little bit. Yeah, that's with protective gear, of course, and such, so that nobody gets hurt. But no, that's good offering for us staycationers that are sticking around.
You know what? Over on the side there is an event there for Jersey Mike's. That's cool. It kind of reminds me. It kind of looks like a big truck of food, but it's not. But it reminded me of the story in the paper this morning about a bunch of food meant for Michigan food banks that is not coming. Like 600,000 pounds of food that would be coming to places like Manna Pantry, Angels, Project Starburst, probably more even than I know of, is not coming. I don't know if you saw that or not.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture notified states last week. There's 2 pandemic era programs. Is what it's quoted as.
So they cut 2 programs that provided $1 billion in food assistance.
660 million that schools used to buy food.
Well, you got to talk into the microphone if you're going to read.
It's it's sad, is what it is. It sucks. And
yeah, because it looks like it's not just the food banks, which was my main concern because already every month I get reports and updates, and the need is going up. The people who are showing up needing services are growing every time, and these programs allow the food banks to buy food at a discounted rate, at a rate that is, that they just couldn't possibly do at their own. Even if Walmart or Meijer is nice enough to try to partner with them, it's just, it would completely blow their budget and destroy their ability to serve the number of people they're serving now, let alone the number that they're going to need to be able to serve, because the need is going to keep going up.
Yeah.
So,
that's
kind of a bummer.
Through the schools, the food pantries, it seems like some pretty crazy cuts.
It has been awesome. In my mind, it has been awesome to know, because they didn't have this when I was a kid, but it is awesome to know that every kid that shows up to our school can get breakfast and lunch if they need it for free, if they need it. Every single kid gets fed multiple times a day. And that is a relief, because you don't know if that's happening at home. Yeah. And now with these sort of programs getting cut,
that's likely to go away.
That's likely to, that number is going to go up. The number of people who are not, the number of kids who are food insecure or whatever. There's this terrible term that I never heard of until a few years ago called Alice. Have you guys in the rental world? You know how in rental world you'll have people who have vouchers for housing, different things like that. There are different programs. Well, these folks usually don't fit in to any of those programs. ALICE stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed. So they're working people who just are sort of broke. I mean, they're just kind of barely hanging on. They don't have anything they don't have a big retirement they can cash in, or some big house they can sell. So they don't have any assets, that are really valuable. They're just getting by. They're, unfortunately, the income. I'm seeing what people are offering, on some of these new places that are opening up. Yeah. What they're offering for wages, and that's not something you could even pay rent on.
No, a single person cannot rent by themselves a full unit.
Not around here, not unless they have a really killer job, which is most likely going to be remote or something. I remember when I was first on my own, you could work at like MPI. You guys remember MPI?
Oh yeah,
it was
telemarketers.
It was a telemarketing place down where the new gym is.
Yep.
And at any given time, they were probably employing 50 people. Just 50 teenagers, college kids, young adults mostly.
Yep.
Right? And, you were able to, at least if you had a roommate or something like that, you could sort of make ends meet while you were going to college and stuff.
On a telemarketer's salary, exactly. you could almost make it work with a buddy, and
back then.
Now you and your wife running full time it's tough. It's tight. I mean,
so we now have this rising population of Alice folks, or folks that fit into this category that sounds cute, sounds like the housekeeper from the Brady Bunch when we were kids.
Yeah.
But it's not really cute when you think about it, that these people are working poor, basically, just scrabbling to just keep barely getting by, kind of thing. And you know what? I get it, man. I get it.
And this article actually ends with that, also grocery prices are up 27% since these programs started. You know, so that unfortunately doesn't make things easier. Although it does kind of play a role in the way the prices have risen. So, it's I'm just
Well,
glad
hopefully there are some really great minds and some really great hearts working on these problems.
Jersey Mike's was busy today, and the folks at Angels of Action are always good to, try and at least make sure children are fed.
Yeah, if you do need help, don't be proud. While the resources are here, please, make yourself available to them. Get what you need.
For sure.
I just hate to see our most marginalized folks be hurt at a time when things are already tough. But whatever. I feel like I'm on a soapbox here. I'll get off. It just sort of broke my heart because I see the line when that truck pulls in. They do once a month. I mean, at a lot of the pantries they're there every day or every weekday. But when they pull in with those Feeding America trucks, the line is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hundreds of cars. Right. So, all right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Tell me something good. What's going on?
So I was poking around, and we got some stuff that's coming up. I seen it in the event page running around on Facebook. I seen a fun, the Prom for Purpose folk.
Oh, cute. Yeah, you told me a little bit about this.
Yeah, they come by with the flyer, and we actually.
Dom, how's that look?
That looks beautiful.
Okay.
And then I have a hard copy here, but this is through the leadership of Mecosta.
Dancing through the decades. That's they got me right there. I'd be curious to.
Dress code is 70s, 80s, or 90s attire.
So who's this for?
This is for Leadership Mecosta, and it is a benefiting the Mana Pantry fundraiser that's put on by this year's class, and it will be hosted at the Peaks.
So this is for us? This is for everybody?
Yeah, you can go.
This is for adults.
Tickets are available. Scan. You can go to.
I would love a chance to redo my prom.
There you go.
Oh my gosh! Here, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but let me give you the highlights of us walking in. First off,
where was prom? Everett?
I went to Everett, but it was, and I'm going to change some names and details to protect those involved. But let's just say we had to walk past a full dumpster to get to the entrance. And so it just set the tone for the night. And I'll leave it at that.
The fact that you remember that.
That's what I remember most clearly was the dumpster.
That's unfortunate.
If the dumpster had been on fire, it would have perfectly encapsulated what was going to follow with the rest of the evening.
Was it at the county fairgrounds near the
honestly, as far as
pens?
I can remember, it was at a probably a perfectly fine place, but the way they had us come in had us routed by the dumpster in our nice clothes. Yeah,
that's interesting.
But come on, DJ Etch is going to be playing music from all the best decades of music.
Yeah, 70s, 80s, 90s attire, $35 each, $50 for a couple. It does say ages 21 and up, so I'm assuming because of the cash bar.
Cool.
But yeah, no, this is Saturday, May 17th.
Oh, back out at the Peaks. We were just talking about that.
Still a ways away, but you can see right here for our video folk. They have an email down there for contact. You can also swing by. We have a poster up at BNR. You can scan and get your tickets. We're excited. I think we've already kind of got our tickets and we're planning on going. So
I'm gonna figure out
who doesn't like dressing up.
Yeah, I'd love a shot at a second prom, so we might do that.
Yeah, no, I seen that. I thought that was kind of fun. I also seen another great
way to turn the show around, buddy.
Group of folk in the area. The Wise, our wonderful people at Wise, have a 5K fun run and walk. They've announced the registration for. This is towards the end of May 31st. It's a Saturday. But
that's how you know spring is coming. Gang.
5Ks, golf outings.
It's 5K season.
Yeah.
5Ks, golf outings. I'm here for it. I'm getting so fat this winter. I'm so proud of you guys. I know you guys
snowboarding though.
Yeah, but come on, that's like little bursts.
You're snowboarding for the burger.
2 cheeseburgers and a snowboarding session
right.
does not make Chris a lean man.
Yeah, it doesn't exactly make you
X each other out.
Yeah, a fit dude. But especially in Michigan, when you snowboard. The snowboarding part lasts for about a minute or two.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you're riding up for 10 minutes. So, I've got to. Siobhan was talking about maybe this being the year to do a marathon.
Okay.
Which I've never done.
What's
I've
a marathon?
26.2. Yeah. We've done A few half marathons.
Halves.
I've done at least 3, and she's done more than me because I gave up on it
for
after
you guys.
After the third one, I'm like, you know what? I get it. I kind of get, it's like once you start, I get it. We're just going to plod along for several hours, and then nobody's going to be proud of us or care that we did it. I could probably get like the same
I would
benefit.
be proud of you, just so you know.
If I can just run 30 minutes to 60 minutes, that's enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
I could
enough
run
running.
for 6 minutes. That's
Yeah.
a victory.
Is that not your thing?
I hate running, man.
Have you ever done a 5K or longer?
I've never done. Well, we've done some 5Ks, but it's like much like this says, the fun
walk?
run walk.
do a little running, little walking.
I can run, and I don't normally have any issues, out jogging.
I didn't know if you ever had like a running phase or anything, because I did, man.
The only running I did was from the law. I'm just kidding. I did
That's
not
hilarious.
But no, it wasn't
law.
until recently I even tried to
Getting
fit and getting into shape.
Well, so maybe your running days are ahead of you. When I was, many of you guys know this already, but back in the day, Pat's going to put up a picture.
I'm not.
No, I'm just kidding. Pat's putting up a picture of me when I was like 300 pounds. But I've actually had a bunch of running stints over the years, and I kind of like running.
Best running shoe in your experience?
Well,
Brand.
now I'm a pronator, and I'm guessing you probably are too. That is when your foot rolls in instead of stays flat.
Yeah.
Yes, some people supinate, others pronate.
Gotcha.
Most of us, kind of goofy white guy, we probably pronate.
Yes.
And so you need a shoe specifically for that. And so for years, I rolled with the Nike Pegasus.
I hear that's the best.
Those were my go-tos.
At least they're,
Brooks Ghost or Brooks Adrenaline. Those were my go-to shoes.
Yeah, Dom's done a bunch of running.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brookses.
Yeah. I don't really. It's been so long. Now I'm hoping maybe to get out
on
and
the
play.
rise and on clouds.
I'm gonna go play pickleball a bunch with Siobhan this
you
next week and try to get my heart
You
rate
guys
up.
are taking the pickleball stuff down there.
Oh
in
yeah,
Florida,
yeah. It's way easier to take pickleball stuff than golf clubs
100%.
and stuff. Although I am going to take some too. I'm just going to take a Sunday bag.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just going to take like 6 or 7 clubs for the both of us. You know what I mean? Because I honestly, there's usually, I think I mentioned this to you. There's a course that's like pretty close by. It's just a short course. It's par 3s. You got to be careful. You kill somebody out there. You know what I mean? Because it's packed into an area the size of Hemlock Park. Just about. You know what I'm saying? But it's pretty cool, and you get paired with 6 or 7 old guys at once, and you all walk it, your little carts, and it's all pitch and wedge to putter kind of a thing.
Yeah, so tight and everything. You don't want long holes.
Fun though, and you knock it out in 45 minutes and on with the day.
Good. Yeah.
But usually she'll go with me a couple of times, but I bet you she's going to be more about the pickleball this time. So
I get it. I mean, it's fun.
How are you doing with the pickleball?
So I've gone a couple times now, and I got the new paddle. So now I feel like I have a little bit of at least control when I hit the ball.
Really? You could tell a difference?
Oh, 100%. I went from some kind of, I don't know, Amazon piece to a nice, decent paddle with at least a name brand behind it.
I was annoyed when they, the way that pickleball paddles got out of control price-wise. They went from having zero technology, and everybody was fine with that for decades.
Yeah, that's fair.
To in the last few years, like suddenly, like when I was introduced to the sport, Siobhan and I bought a 2-pack at like Walgreens.
At Walgreens.
You know what I mean? It probably wasn't.
It
probably wasn't at Walgreens, but it was something like that. We might have even been on vacation, and it was like a 2-pack of paddles, balls, and like this mesh bag that they went in. You know what I mean? It was cheap.
Right.
Super cheap.
Yep.
And that's how we learned. And so then I bought her like a $60 one.
Oh.
And I thought
that's probably the one that I was just complaining about.
Thought that was pretty sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so she was using that one. And then, we were playing more. The next one I got was like 110 because that was, supposed to be a really good one. Like it was a signature pro model, somebody's signature model. Well, it wasn't, 5 minutes later, it seems like.
5 minutes.
And somebody was telling me that was trash.
Yeah.
That those are both trash.
Yes, of course.
And I was like,
Yeah.
The paddles everyone was using were $25 and $30 to begin with,
Yeah.
and now suddenly they're $300
with different feels.
What
and different
happened?
things and this and this. Yeah,
It's marketing, right?
Capitalized. Yeah, it was.
Come on.
Yeah.
Thrown in the old capitalism.
But you just said you could
Machine.
tell the difference.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
So-
I mean, it's got a softer knock to it. You know, there's just more control, more opportunity with it.
See, the paddle I have that I like has a different feel. It doesn't feel plastic on the outside, so it has a little different texture.
Yeah, yep.
And it is much more dead. So when I hit it kind of even hard, it doesn't go as fast
Which
as
is
far.
It's kind of needed in that sport.
What did you
especially
call
getting
it?
excited.
Dull?
Yeah, it kind of dulls it down a little
dull.
bit. Like,
Yeah.
instead of the ping off
Right.
it, it's like...
I don't want to go pew.
Yeah, because with that other paddle, man, I just touch it and
Like a tennis
gone.
racket. Yeah.
But no, it's been fun. It's good exercise. I will say, you weren't kidding. I would get worked by some older folk, and I have. They've taught me some lessons. That's for sure.
Make you feel
You're
like a potato out there, right? Like you're just a crash test.
I can't
dummy.
wait for this weather to kick because, like we said last week, they did put the pickleball court
That's
nets
right.
up and
Hey,
stuff,
if
and I want to
you-
get out there.
Yeah, if you have got your kids this week, you're going to be home for spring break. The Hemlock Park play area is fully open. Splash pad will be open soon, but you can check all that out. It's all open. The pickleball nets are up. Basketball courts are open. They'll be open all day, every day next week.
Yeah,
So
hopefully the weather can kind of...
get your friends.
I
and
previewed
get
a
out.
little bit, and the weather doesn't look that great, but it's Michigan, so things can change quickly.
Oh, really? Because I previewed the weather, and it was like 80 degrees and sunny
that's what-
every day.
That's what it is in Florida.
Oh, that's in Florida. You meant the weather here. Yeah. Well, listen, I can't control that, folks. But what I will say is that, I'll miss you.
Yeah, of course.
I'll miss you.
Real quick,
I was gonna say, what do we got before we wrap things up?
One question. Somebody asked me, and I wanted to ask you because you're tapped in, and this is probably older news, but there was some fencing going up around the family health care building, and somebody asked me what they were doing. So I figured maybe you knew.
The one...
I believe it's this area that I have on the screen, Water Tower and Fuller.
Oh,
Corner,
okay.
on the other side of DHS, down
I
the road
see.
from where they're tearing down the
Right.
Dr.
Well,
Delaney's office.
yeah, Dr. Delaney's office is gone. It is gone, and I would imagine they will be breaking ground on the new community or
Credit union.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was it? No. Shoot, whatever it is, that
Yes.
credit union.
Yes,
We talked about it.
We did because
Community's
yeah,
credit
and I
union?
do have a car through, so I was right. We do have a
Yeah.
a bank.
I was gonna say you seem to know about
bank,
it. I
yeah,
didn't know who it was,
Ludington
but
or something. But yeah, for that
anyway,
bank, yes,
But you're talking about.
on the backside.
I see.
Of Water Tower.
Yeah, that is. I think all that's happening there is the health care facility got permission from the city to put a driveway out to Fuller, and I think as part of that, they are redoing the full lot to add a lot more parking.
That makes sense.
And I'm not sure if they're doing any additions to the building or not. I haven't taken a close look at that. I think I was on the planning commission when that got approved. So this has been,
while.
feels like it's been a
Long
while
project.
coming, probably at least a few years coming.
Gotcha.
But that is what's going on there. We got a lot of fencing and a lot of construction going on around town, everybody.
Real quick,
They're already breaking
They
ground
broke
on
the ground. Yeah,
Jim Crow.
Yeah, for this week though, they broke the ground for the new dorm.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was going to say.
The
So
whole
we got
thing.
4 things. You know what I'm saying? At least that I know of. You've got they're breaking ground on the Jim Crow Museum. They've already cleared stuff out. They got all that fencing up. They've broken ground on the new dorm, and you know what? That looks awesome. I'm jealous.
So
I am
excited.
jealous to be like a young, young person with the opportunity to live in that dorm. That would be fun.
So sweet.
Super cool. Very centrally located. I mean, even if it wasn't for the,
Yeah, for the football.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
Because I mean,
right.
like all your
You're-
classes right
you're gonna
there.
be able to-
the library's right there.
Yeah, look
that's
out
a
over
good
the
spot.
quad.
100%.
And then across the street from Flight Library, they're going to be breaking ground, if they haven't already, by the time you're hearing this, on the Chipotle.
Yep.
They're going to be tearing down the old chemical bank, It's a good building, a cool building.
Very
it's
cool.
always, it's very striking.
I remember it as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're going to put in a drive-through Chipotle. And so I don't know how the traffic will flow, but I do know that when site plans get submitted and get approved, they have to have worked that
They
out.
take all that.
They take that stuff into consideration. So I imagine that they've got that sorted. And then the old dentist office is going to be a bank, another bank. So,
and I'm sure there's more in the works
probably
that we don't know about.
That's right. Hey, if you want to let us know about anything going on around town or any rumors that you've heard or interesting stories that you think we should be covering or talking about, you can send them to us at whatsupbigrapids@gmail.com. You can message us on any of the socials that you see us
Seems to be
posting
a
on.
preferred option for people
Which
to
is
reach
totally
out.
fine.
That's
We
totally
love
fine.
the comments,
We see 'em.
and if we can, or if we have any ability to, we'll try to respond, or we'll respond on the show. If you ask a really good question, we probably won't answer online. We probably will save it for the show.
Yep.
But Pat, what do you always like to tell them? That if they want to be a friend,
If they want to be a friend, they can share, subscribe on YouTube, like the page, tell a friend.
we actually would
Comment
love
in
that.
the
Even
comment
if this
section.
is
The
the
comment
last
section.
time
I
that you
didn't
ever
know
watch us,
that
even
the
if this is
comment
the
section-
last time that they ever watch or listen to us, if you do nothing else for us but just to follow, like, subscribe, share it,
We appreciate it.
oh, yeah, do us a huge solid, because as of right now, we're not taking anything with the show, not spending anything with the show, we're not promoting it in any way.
We're here for you.
We're just putting it out there, and so help us get it in front of a few more people, so that they also will know what's up, Big Rapids.
For sure.
That's all I've got for this week. I'm your host, Chris Jane.
And I'm Pat Brooks.
Remember, kids, kindness is contagious. Why don't you go out there this week and be the example that you want to see? Okay? Hit the music, Dom.
See you next week.
See you next week, everybody. Hey, come back, everybody. Come back.
Oopsie daisy.
We forgot. Dom,
The magic of editing, you'll just be able to fix it later.
I don't even think I will. I'll probably
Just throw it
leave
to me.
in.
Just throw it to
because
me now.
that was a very good outro.
It was. Shoot.
But you're right. Here's a little PS.
Yes.
Maybe we'll just use it as a reel.
Well, here's what we got wrong this week. Based on their Facebook page and their website, Caberfae closed on Monday. So unfortunately, if you're watching this and you want to drive up to Caberfae, I would call
do it.
first or stay home. Chris, I think your money might be at Consumers Credit Union.
That's it.
That's good to know where you have your money. Chris has got so much of it. Or not Chris, Pat.
Pat, I was gonna
Pat
say.
has so much of it. He has it in so many banks.
Chris
around
knows where his
town.
money is. It's in everybody else's bank.
There you go. Mother's Day this year is May 11th.
Oh.
Coming up
quick.
quick.
It's good to know.
Love your moms.
I feel like that other thing was on mail. That's the same thing. All right.
Jersey Mike's, this is their 15th anniversary for doing Giving Day. They have over 200 locations around the country that they're giving all of the pros, not just all of the income from today will be going to those organizations. Yeah,
It's so cool.
The history of the bracket dates back to 1977 in Staten Island, New York. Give it up, NYC. For giving us not only the Reuben sandwich, but also the bracket.
Come at us, Kansas City. No, come at us,
That's
Omaha.
Omaha.
Come at us,
And,
Omaha.
If you're around Friday night, sitting on your couch watching CBS, MSU plays Ole Miss at 7:09, and Michigan plays Auburn at 9:39.
All right.
All right.
I thought for some reason Michigan played
Go
Thursday
Michigan.
night, but yeah,
We're rooting
go,
for you guys.
go State. Let's go. We got this.
Yep. Is that it?
That's it.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Now back to where we were a moment ago.